Fortnite's over 7 years old, and in the time that we've been playing this game, we've gotten some really crazy items. And when I say crazy, I mean crazy. So today we're going to be revisiting some of the weirdest items in the history of Fortnite that you guys might have forgotten about. Now before this video starts, I just want to let you guys know that this is not going to be a ranking. Unlike all my other videos, today I'm just going to be revisiting some of the weirdest items ever to be in Fortnite. That means that nobody should be disagreeing with me in the comments, but feel free to add an item that you guys think I missed. Along with this, I'm not going to be doing anything from collabs, because whenever we get a collab in Fortnite, the item that comes along with it is always weird. Instead, I'm just going to be doing items that Fortnite randomly decided to put into the game. And yes, Chapter 2 Season 7 does have a few items on this list. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. The first item on this list is going to be the inflatable from Chapter 2 Season 7. And yeah, it was an inflatable cow. This was a rare item that as soon as you activated it, it would inflate a cow and you'd be able to bounce that cow all around the map. You wouldn't take any fall damage from it unless you jumped out of it. All you had to do to activate the item was to press jump in midair. Once in the item, you were able to exit it, which would give you an 8-second cooldown, or if you got shot out, it would be a 16-second cooldown. But for as weird as this item seemed, it was actually insanely good at mobility. The rotation that it provided was absolutely crazy, and it allowed you to move around the map without taking any damage from the first shot that hit you. Along with this, the bouncing did not make it an easy target to hit. And to make it even weirder, Epic decided to add a mechanic that would allow it to moo when you were in midair. Like, just imagine you're in a build fight and you hear this from behind you. Oh shit, wrong cow. But you guys get the gist though. Anyways, yeah, this item was really fun and I would love to see it back in the game at some point. Next up on the list, we have the Falcon Scout from Chapter 4 Season 1. This item was the first of its kind to ever be introduced to Fortnite. It literally gave the player who was using it a bird's eye view. It had the ability to carry knocked players, which would prove to be very useful when they get knocked in the storm. Along with this, you were able to pick up weapons and bring them back to you as long as they were free and on the ground. The Falcon also had the ability to recon players. The main issue is that it would lose signal if it were to be destroyed or if it flew over 150 meters away. But at the end of the day, this is one of the weirdest items that Fortnite has ever released. It's literally Sova's recon drone from Valorant, except it's able to carry guns and players. And what a shock, Nick30 was doing customs with this item.
Mods ban that guy and blow up his house.
But overall, the item's pretty cool. Just like our next item, which is going to be the explosive GooGun from Chapter 3 Season 4. And yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. It shoots goo.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
This, in my opinion, was one of the most random items that Fortnite could have ever added to the game. I mean, it's literally a gun that shoots explosive goo. Try telling me that's not weird. The gun didn't have any normal ammo, and as soon as the goo stuck to a player, they were as good as gone. But honestly, for as weird as this gun was, it was actually really good. The gun was doing 16 damage per hit and had a DPS of 320. But the concept was just so odd, and the major flaw is that, well, it doesn't shoot far at all. And yes, I know this sounds weird, but this is the only time in Fortnite's history that you're able to say that you covered another player in goo. As all you guys could imagine, this thing was a meme magnet. But I'm not talking about this kind of meme where Ninja still pretends to be relevant.
Low taper fade. You know what's crazy is that low taper fade, like, meme is, dude, it is still massive.
No, it's not, Ninja. The whole point that I'm getting at is that this gun was just so weird and so out of the blue that so many people were able to make new content with it. And that's going to bring us to our next item, which is going to be the Gravitron from Chapter 2 Season 7. Imagine you could pick up any item on the Fortnite map and throw it as far as you want. Well, that's exactly what the Gravitron did. If you had the pleasure of playing this game all the way back in Chapter 2 Season 7, then you know how fun this item is to use. You could literally pick up anything from across the map and chuck it wherever you wanted it to go. And once again, this is something that was completely new to Fortnite at the time. They never had an item that was able to do anything remotely close to this. But then again, I am talking about the weirdest items in Fortnite, so kinda makes sense. One of the best things about this item is that whatever you threw when using it was bound to break the builds that were in its way. This item was honestly just so unique, and I don't think we're gonna see anything like it in the future. That is, unless Fortnite decides to give us another Alien season. Which, you know, it's Fortnite, so anything could happen. Next up, we have the Chrome Splash from Chapter 3 Season 4. And this is one of those items that borders on both weird and super useful. Anything that you threw it at would turn into chrome, and this would allow you to phase right through it. And although it might seem weird on its own, that's not the only crazy part about it, because you were able to turn yourself into chrome. Once you were fully taken over by the chrome, there was a new mechanic called Blobify, which would literally turn you into a chrome blob. This was a lot like the sand tunneling mechanic from Chapter 2 Season 5, except you were able to jump in midair. The Blobify mechanic was super good for rotations and for mobility, as it was super hard to hit a shot on anybody who was in it. Another thing that was really weird about this item is how easy it was to get. The item was an epic rarity, but you could get it from pickaxing things that had chrome already on it. So not only was it super weird, but it was super useful and easily accessible. It just kinda sucks that we got it in one of the top 5 worst seasons in the history of Fortnite. Anyways though, the item was pretty good and it was really weird, but that's gonna take us to our next item, which is gonna be the boombox. This item was added all the way back in Chapter 1 Season 7, and it's one of those items that you just don't know why they added to the game. The whole concept of the item was to create a space where builds wouldn't work. And although it did exactly what it was intended to do, it just wasn't very useful. The entire idea of a boombox breaking builds was really weird, but nobody really carried them. But I have a feeling that if boomboxes were on the competitive scene today, they would be absolutely broken. I mean, if you remember all the way back to Chapter 1 Season 7, you'd know that building was nowhere near where it is today. But could you imagine one of these being thrown into the endgame of an FNCS Finals? At the end of the day, it's an odd item that was just way ahead of its time. And that's gonna bring us to our last item of the video, and that's gonna be bottle rockets from Chapter 1 Season 7. These were literal fireworks, and I think people misunderstood what the purpose of them was. This item is really similar to boomboxes in the fact that it's supposed to take out builds. It could damage players, but it just didn't do too much damage, and it wasn't its intended purpose. But then you have people like Laserbeam, who just didn't know that, and I think he's the only person in Fortnite's history to kill themselves with bottle rockets. But once again, the concept was just so weird. I mean, using fireworks to deal damage to structures was just not in the playbook. This, along with the boomboxes, came out in a time where Fortnite was getting kinda scared of building. They thought it was getting way too overpowered, and to combat it, they started making these weird items that would destroy builds. But yeah, Fortnite's history has definitely had some weird items. And now that Chapter 1 has been 100% confirmed to return, I can't wait to see which of these items are brought with it. Don't forget, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you guys thought that I missed anything, please make sure to leave a comment down below. I know for a fact that I definitely missed out on a few weird items, so... But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.